to the Women's Hoop Show. We've got a fun one today because this episode is basically a hoops catch-up in both directions. There have been so much great college hoops recently, and if you can't sit in front of your TV for like 6 to 8 hours straight to stay in the know, I don't blame you. I totally get it. So I called our expert, Autumn Johnson, to give us a breakdown. Autumn has been locked into the college game, was in the building for South Carolina, Texas, and is going to walk me through what actually matters right now. The top 25 in the AP polls, bad losses, who's separating themselves. We're going to get into it all. Then we're going to flip it. I'll catch Autumn up on everything Unrivaled, where the league stands, what the games have looked like, what's working, what's not, and bigger questions happening around year two. So think of this episode of two worlds colliding. College hoops clarity first, then Unrivaled context second. Let's get into it. Autumn! Hello!
Hey, my girl. Hi, Jordan. I miss you so much.
I miss you too. Look, guys, it's been so long since we podcast. We had some tech issues at the beginning. Autumn needed to flick her mic on. It's been a while. We're dusting the mic off for Autumn because we missed her so much.
I'm not even going to put it on you. I said we're rusty, but truly just me rusty. We're getting it together. We're fine, but we're here. I'm so happy to see you.
I'm so happy to see you. And look, you have been all over my feed per usual because I follow you, all the outfits that you wear on the sidelines.
Thank you, girl.
You have been collecting miles points, I know, like crazy. Whew. How has this college season been for you so far? We're only in January, but you're doing great.
Barely. It's like mid-January-ish, but we're thriving. It's been so much fun living out of a suitcase here and there at home. You know, I got my place clean and my life together when I am here. So it's great. That's my New Year's thing. Like, if life here is chaotic at home, everything else is going to be chaotic. I can't be on the road and come back to chaos. So those two worlds, we're flowing. We're good. Caught some great games recently from the West Coast, from the East Coast, Midwest, you name it. I've been there. So it's been an amazing time.
The games have been so good. There have been so much movement in the top 25. And I felt like it was going to be a great college season when we got, what was that? The Players Cup.
Players era.
The Players era. When we're able to see in what was that, November?
Yes.
South Carolina, Texas, UCLA, some of the top teams going up against each other back then. I was like, oh, we're in for a treat this year. And I have not been disappointed at all. No. If we give a quick look at the top AP poll, UConn is still very in number one. South Carolina snuck back into that number 2 spot. UCLA 3, Texas 4, Vanderbilt still unbeaten at 5. We're going to talk about them because, they look really, really good. LSU is at 6, Michigan 7, Louisville at 8, which they have really jumped up there in the top 10. TCU at 9 and Iowa at 10. So where do you want to start? Because I feel like we could go into any one of these teams. Maybe we start at the game that you were just last at. South Carolina, Texas.
Let's do it.
How about we do that? Because that was circled on my calendar. I know. It was a little bit of a payback, a rematch already between the Longhorns and the Gamecocks. What was the vibe like in there? Because I know it was crazy.
Oh, man. Every single time you have South Carolina, Texas face off, it always delivered. That arena was packed. It was loud. It was insane. Top 4 matchup. I mean, like you mentioned, we got like a little mini March in November between these two, and then they run it back. Just, in my opinion, a total get back game for South Carolina. And these are two teams, even Texas, completely different from what we're seeing now. From November to now January, the chemistry that South Carolina has been able to attain after dealing with injuries, a new team overall, they put it together in this game. And I love what my colleague always says, Shimmy, she always says, win gritty and not pretty. That's exactly what it was, because
I like that.
I'm going to start coining that. Shout out to Shimmy. But a combined 45 turnovers between the two teams. And I just chalk that up to both of these teams knowing each other so well. The battle of the defenses, it was high level on both ends, but classic South Carolina balance. Like everyone had their moment in the game. Taniyah Latson showed up and showed out in the first half. I loved her energy on both ends. She got downhill. She got to the line. She played both sides of the ball and just set the tone early, in my opinion. Joyce Edwards came alive in the second half. Medina Okote, she had a phenomenal three that I couldn't even hear myself at all when she hit it.
That was when a post player hits a three, you just the crowd goes wild.
It was insane. And that was her third career three. So know it was a moment. Yeah, it was the total momentum shifter. But Raven Johnson, fourth quarter takeover, truly that girl, complete takeover. She controls the pace, had that steady hand for South Carolina. She got in her midi spots. She set up her teammates. She guards the toughest matchup every single night, chasing around Rory Harmon. I don't think she gets enough credit. We saw the new top 25 college basketball players come out, and Raven wasn't on that list. And you can't talk about South Carolina's success without Raven Johnson. Raven Johnson and winning is synonymous together. It goes hand in hand. So I love that she had that I'm not even going to call it a breakout moment. She's been doing this. There were WNBA execs at that game, and everyone was tuned into that game. It's her final year. That was a great showing for Raven to show I'm here and I'm ready to impact the next level, because this is what I do. I win. I've won at the high school level, 3 state championships, or I think 4 actually, 4 state championships, coming over to South Carolina. She has multiple rings to her name. It was great to see that overall. But Texas, they started strong, just couldn't close out versus South Carolina.
Yeah, let's talk about Texas for a second too, because that was a tough week for Texas. You had to play LSU at LSU, and then you had to play South Carolina at South Carolina.
Brutal.
That is the SEC. That is just exactly how this conference is going. But this idea that you wanted to have a bounce back game because you got your first loss to LSU, and then South Carolina with the home crowd, with it being a rematch, it was just too much to overcome. That's what it seemed like to me. It was just they could not finish the deal. But I'm not counting Texas out. They're not. Yeah, they're still a good team.
Absolutely. That's why you didn't see them drop from the 4 spot. Because who's challenging them after that? They still have a great amount of quad 1 wins. Their resume is beefed up, stacked up, still a win over South Carolina, UCLA. They had that great stretch, and they'll still have time again to show what they can do in the SEC and the SEC tournament. But you talk about that LSU game, a Rory Harmon, she didn't play that entire fourth quarter. She was off efficiently offensively the entire game. But then she comes in and turns things around versus South Carolina. I thought she had very timely moments. She had to chase around Raven Johnson all night. That was just
not easy
matchup to watch. But Madison Booker as well, she would not be denied at all getting to her spots, getting downhill, that mismatch that she even has as a guard. She's long. That midi game is beautiful. I think the difference maker is it was just those two. Jordan Lee, she is their third shooter. She was in foul trouble.
Yeah.
It was just too much. The biggest issue was just not enough help outside of the normal duo.
Look, we've had Madison Booker on this podcast multiple times, and we know her hate for South Carolina is real. She has not tried to hide it, not one bit. She barely was able to give Asia Wilson props in a WNBA setting because she went to South Carolina. So we know that she wants to see them again, but also she doesn't want to see them again. I can see if it goes down to them being in the Final Four again, she's like, I can't get away from South Carolina. I know it.
That's tough.
But it makes for great TV. We love it.
And to be the best, you got to beat the best. And both of them are the best right now. I think the fact that both games were decided by one possession, that says a lot, not just about this conference, but these two teams, how they're separating themselves, and LSU is putting themselves in that mix as well. I don't know how that SEC tournament is going to shake out.
Oh my gosh.
Couldn't tell you.
It's going to be wild. Wild. There is so many great SEC teams, so many great Big Ten teams as well. Big 12 is like, hey,
You
we're
name it.
here. All of these conferences are really, really showing out. But real quick, let's talk about this number one team, because we have to talk about the 18-0 UConn
Ooh.
Huskies. They're in the Big East.
Goodness.
But they made Notre Dame look like a high school team. We're recording this on Tuesday. That just happened yesterday. I was like, ooh, yeah, let's see.
Ooh.
Maybe. No, it was not even. If you had a glimmer of hope in the first half, then Gino's halftime speech was going to dismantle any of that hope.
Right.
And then UConn came out the second half and was like, oh, yeah, we can put up
Like, that
about
was
50
cute.
points and a half. Easy. Do you see UConn losing this year?
No.
Me neither.
I can't see it. No. No. You know what? You mentioned the Big East too. There's always that national conversation about UConn being in a weaker conference compared to some other power leagues. But every single time UConn steps out of the Big East, they're like, I'm right here. They prove the opposite every single time. They are built for a national title again this year. They've got the depth, they got the discipline, they got the defense, the star power, the whole package for UConn. And to me, I've been able to cover a lot of their games up close and personal as as a sideline reporter for TNT, and I've been able to speak with the team and just see it live. The defense is the separator. It's what's making them so scary right now. Like, we'll get into the offense, but the defense, that full court pressure is relentless. They've got active hands sitting in the gaps. They blow up passing lanes. Everyone's on one string. They speed teams up. And when you get past that full court pressure, they're still in it in the half court. They don't let up all 40 minutes. You're uncomfortable. And I was actually impressed of how KK Arnold took on that assignment of trying to shut down Hannah Hidalgo. She is known to go off versus UConn, and she averages 32 points per game versus the Huskies.
Whoa.
She only had 16 points, which was a very hard 16 points that she had to get. I mean, UConn's defensive plan versus Hannah was take away Hannah Hidalgo, cut off the head of the snake, and make everyone else beat us. And everyone else outside of Prosper had less than 6 points.
Whoa.
So, I mean, they accomplished everything that they needed to in that game. And that just tells you how suffocating UConn's defense was. And, I don't see any other team touching them this year. That's how good they are.
10-foot pole. Like, I think that if we look backwards, that Michigan game was so good. And Michigan, played them down to the final seconds. And I think that's probably going to be the closest team. Like, the discipline can't be talked about enough. And I've recently talked to AZ Fudd for something special coming out soon, which is going to be so fun. But she talked about just that UConn standard, like that standard of we have to be a certain way all the time. And there is no room for error, and there's no room to step outside of that. Like, if you are not in a defensive stance, if your jersey is not tucked in, she talked about that. She's like, yeah, I know the rule changed, but when I see other people with their jerseys out, like, it's just sloppy. Like, it's like, we don't do that. Like, that is the standard. And that is what every single player signed up for when they came to play for UConn. Like, I love that. And it shows on the offensive end. The cuts are crisp, the passes are perfect. And then on the defensive end, guard your person. Do not let them get in behind you, in front of you, bump the cutter. Like, all of those things, it just like scratches my basketball mind, like, in the perfect way, because you can just see the perfectionism in Gino Auriemma shine through his players.
Yeah.
And that's why you are 18-0 and virtually untouchable. Like,
yeah.
I just don't see it. I don't see anyone beating them. Sarah Strong, are you kidding me?
What?
You have Sarah Strong on your team. Come on.
They have Sarah Strong and no one else does. It's like, what are you gonna do about that?
Man.
That duo of Sarah Strong and AZ Fudd is relentless. And you mentioned AZ, like she didn't really get it done she didn't do it from beyond the arc. She got inside the lane. She's showing that overall player that she is, that she can get downhill, she can use her body, she can take contact, she can do anything. She also had moments on Hannah Hidalgo where she had to guard her. Like, she's WNBA ready. But her as a shooter, although it wasn't as showcased in this game, like, it's been quick release, right in the pocket, fluid, just effortless. She's been phenomenal, staying an extra year and just really honing in on her craft. Sarah Strong, best player in the nation.
I mean,
and it's not even close.
They're calling her baby Jokic, Autumn. And Jokic has multiple NBA MVPs. Just want to throw that out there. It's not a bad comparison. No. I want to compare it to, a W player, and it's the Maya Moore-esque. It's the 3-level score. We've talked about it before, but UConn, yeah. You win a national championship, and somehow we're talking about you in a completely different way this year. And we're saying you're better than the year before.
It's crazy.
We're shaking our head. If you're not watching the video, we're just constantly shaking our head because there's
no words for that. I don't know. I don't have anything for you. And you bring up a great point of the discipline for all 4 quarters. Even if they're blowing teams out, they're still running the same system. They're still in their place. They're still hustling hard. And you got to think, like, Sarah Strong and AZ Fudd aren't even playing in a lot of these fourth quarters too. So yeah.
Before we go to break, one team that I was watching the Fox broadcast during yesterday's tournament, and they kind of talked about if there was one team that could potentially go up against UConn and give them a run for their money, was UCLA. And I would love your thoughts on that, because UCLA is sitting right now at number 3. They're 17-1. They have been playing super well through the Big Ten so far and seem like they are going to kind of run away with that. But we know with UCLA this time, we're not worried about it. It's not an issue. It's when we get to the tournament and that Final Four conversation, just because they haven't been there as a program a lot.
No.
So do you think with this senior heavy, like, they are vets on this UCLA squad, and that is showing that they could potentially give UConn a run for their money if it got to that point?
Yeah, this was a matchup that we saw in the Final Four, and I think that showed UConn's been there, UCLA hasn't.
Right.
And when you go to the Final Four, it's a lot, media-wise, like appearance-wise. When you come off of the plane, everyone, media, including myself, we're in your face asking you questions. Like, it doesn't stop until you get done, until the buzzers goes off. So I don't think a lot of people see that. We're in the locker room constantly. If it's a lot for me, I know it's a lot for them, running around, always like talking to them. There's no rest. And then you're practicing. It's a quick turnaround from, your last, from the Elite 8 going into the Final Four. Now that UCLA had that experience, I think this is going to be exactly what they needed. Like, that reality check, in a sense, where it's like, okay, we've been here. We know what it takes. Now let's go out and execute. And they've got the depth. They got the size. They have the chemistry. They got some new pieces. This is a well-balanced team. And specifically in the Big Ten, it's UCLA versus the field in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
It's in that Maryland UCLA game. it showed just that the way they were able to blow past Maryland. So that game in itself was a statement.
Mm-hmm.
And last year we were talking about Lauren Betts. This year it's the guard play.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Gianna Neekins who can stretch the floor and gives you an entire different dynamic when you talk about spacing. Gabriella Jaquez is having a career year, and it
Yeah.
seems like every single year she's just getting better and better and better. And I want to call her the X factor, but she's just the unsung hero. Like, more people need to be talking about her and the success.
Yeah.
Charlize Ledger Walker, a bucket getter,
Mm-hmm.
healthy, scoring point guard, and brings another facilitator for UCLA. And they've got depth in the front court. Like, we're always talking about Lauren Betts. We know what she does at 6'7", but now to have your sister alongside of you and Angela Dugalich, who can
Mm-hmm.
stretch the floor. This team has balance. And the same thing we're saying about UConn, how they can take off the bench, UCLA can do the same. You know,
Mm-hmm.
UCLA has size. They have the defense. They have the offense. They are checking off as a full package as well. But now they have the experience of the Final Four. They know what
Yeah.
it takes. So I think that could be a difference maker for sure.
Yeah, I love what you said about the Maryland game. I was like, ooh, this is going to be a good one. Number 3 UCLA going up against number 12 Maryland. No, UCLA won 97-67. Like, they weren't even a factor at
Yeah.
all. And this is a top 15 team. So I think that was a statement game. Looking at
Mhm.
that box score, looking at Jaquez having a game high 22 points, Charlize having 17, 4 made threes. Like, you're able to see that it's not just Lauren Betts. She had 11 points, 5 rebounds. Like, she
Yeah.
didn't even have that crazy of a game. And
Yeah.
you're still able to blow past a top 15 matchup, which I feel like last year, years prior, Lauren Betts, if you're not having a double-double,
Mhm.
I don't know where else the scoring is coming from. I don't know what else anybody else is doing. So I think that should be encouraging if you
Mhm.
are a Bruins fan, and they just got to hold on. I like that they're top 3. I kind of like that they're not number 1. Like, I think that was a lot too,
Mm.
to
Yeah.
hold on that number 1 spot for
True.
so long that they did last year. I'm
Yeah.
top 5. Cool. We're in the
We're
top.
chilling.
We're chilling. You
Don't worry
know,
about
we're
us.
good. We're good. Don't worry about us. And then we're gonna be there in the Final Four. I think that's a great,
Love it.
great tactic.
No, they want the pressure. They're ready for it. But it's like, okay, focus on UConn for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. Everybody,
Please.
stop what you're doing. Just focus on UConn.
Because the target's still on their back in the Big Ten for sure, but I think they got
Mhm.
that handled. But nationwide, you could tell like everyone was gunning for UCLA to knock them
Mhm.
off that streak they went on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then with USC, the Battle of LA, that they've got less innocence to worry about this year. They
Mhm.
can just focus on themselves and what they're doing every single possession, every single game,
Yeah.
moving forward, just the details. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a break. We have more college on the other side. We're going to dive into these other top 10 teams, pick your brain, Autumn, and then we'll get into Unrivaled later in the show. But stick around. Welcome back to the Women's Hoop Show. We're still talking college hoops. All right, Autumn. LSU. Okay, let me just get this out there now, because
Mhm.
I have been so up and down on LSU. And here's why. I know that Kim Mulkey does not schedule tough competition for
Mhm.
the preseason, before conference play. Everyone's talking about how they're scoring, 8 games over 100 points and all of this. And I kind of roll my eyes, because I'm like, who are you playing? Like, that's always has to
Yeah.
be a factor. And then as soon as it started getting a little difficult, they started losing some games. And I was like,
Mhm.
hey, I told y'all you need to have some of that competition right
Yeah.
up top. But then this game against Oklahoma, LSU is sitting at number 6. Oklahoma is at 13. LSU very much, and with Texas too, beating them, but they very much kept their foot on the gas, winning 91-72 in Oklahoma. What about this LSU team? We know that they added Malaysia Fulwiley. Flau'jae is looking great, especially in this last game. What about this LSU team is like we can hang with the big dogs. I know we were winning by huge margins, but we can also win against ranked teams too.
Yeah, I think they just kind of got hit in the mouth whenever they came into the SEC. Like, it's a gauntlet, and
Yeah.
it just makes for great basketball. The big names going up against the big names when you have those non-con games, and it gives you an early test of what's going wrong, what's going right in those early challenges, those close game execution moments. What do we do from here? They started to figure that out late in the SEC. I still think we're witnessing the same team they've always been in the non-con, but now we're just seeing a little late of them really in full stride in the SEC because they had to get accustomed to that tougher competition. But going up against this Oklahoma team, Oklahoma, you're going to play with pace when you go with them, and LSU loves to play with pace. You know, they're going to shoot a lot of threes, and that's exactly what they did in this matchup. And it felt like they couldn't miss at first. They were feeling good in front of their home crowd. You know, they played with a lot of pace and confidence, and LSU started to just absorb all of the punches and punch right back. They turned it up really quickly. They went on a 20-3 run to close out that first quarter. They get downhill very well. They get to the free throw line. That was another separator, 29 for 33 from the charity stripe. Whoa. Oklahoma was just 8 for 12. And Oklahoma, when you think about Oklahoma, it's Reagan Beers inside.
Yeah.
She was limited, didn't play a lot as much as she would want because, you know, foul trouble piling up, just neutralizing her. That was a massive, massive takeaway for, you know, LSU to limit that. But I think right now LSU is just getting accustomed to SEC play together as this new unit with the MyLaysia Flau'jae, with the new freshmen that they've brought on board. It's been nice to see them grow every single game. But for me, the difference maker is always going to be Flau'jae Johnson. Like, this is your senior superstar. She came out with 23 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks and 1 steal, like exactly what you want from your senior in a big type of game. And they need that from her every single game. She shows up on both ends. She's a very complete player and playing with the chip on her shoulder. Like, you'll hear if she has a quieter game, she's like, nah, stay on that side. Like, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
If LSU drops one and you know, like they had the big back-to-back wins, taking down Texas and Oklahoma, she's like, stay on that side. Like, this is a process with this team leading these new freshmen, but I know what it takes. Like, I've been to a national championship game in my freshman year and won. I have played with the best of the best. I have throughout my entire, since I was a freshman to a senior, I've had these big moments and I know what it takes. I think that's going to be what gets them to another run is Flau'jae Johnson, Michaela Williams, MyLaysia Flau'jae, Jada Richard. Like, this is a complete group. Grace Knox coming into her own, had some great moments in that game. Long story short, I think they're just getting accustomed to the SEC play.
Here are my 2 random thoughts on LSU. One, I predict that Flau'jae is going to be drafted number 5 and go to Chicago and perform at All-Star Weekend in Chicago.
Okay.
That is my prediction. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Number
I love that.
2, right? I thought about this.
What a full circle moment.
Number 2 is we talk a lot about Kim Mulkey's outfits, but I don't think we talk enough about how many calories she burns per game, because I think she does not exercise or work out outside of this. I think game days are her workouts.
That is the workout.
How she's jumping up and down in heels, pacing back and forth. And anytime they make a big shot, she is just so dramatic. Like, that is all energy burned, like calories burned. So I think we need to put a Fitbit on her or an Apple Watch or something and track that. So
People
that is
eat that up.
Right? That's some good content. Okay. Let me write that down.
Need that. Get on that, Jordan. We need it.
Those are my two random thoughts on LSU.
I love it.
Okay, let's go to another great game yesterday. First of all, the games yesterday on Monday, the Coretta Scott King Classic, that was brilliant to put all of these women's basketball games celebrating MLK. I feel like for so long it's just been NBA games. I know the
Mhm.
football, the college national championship was also yesterday, but to have a jam-packed day full of women's hoops and having it tied to Coretta Scott King was so smart.
Beautiful.
And the games were so good, Autumn.
They
They
were
were
great.
great. We talked about UConn Notre Dame, but it started early in the morning for us West Coasters.
I can imagine.
TCU. I'm like barely my
Right.
eyes were opening. TCU and Ohio State. TCU is ranked 9th, Ohio State at
Mhm.
12th. Ohio State got the upset 71-69, went down to the final possession. That was such a great game. I love TCU, but Ohio State, Chance Gray, I remember covering her when
Yeah.
she was at Oregon.
Yeah.
22 points, 6 for 8 from the three, including the dagger three at the end.
Mhm.
What did you love from this Ohio State team to pull up this upset over a very good TCU and Olivia Miles?
We already know when you play at Ohio State, it's going to be the press, it's going to be the defense, but it's like, all right, the balance in offense, where does that come from outside of Jelani Cambridge, who had 18 points, but didn't have the classic, like, Cambridge
Yeah.
signature offensive night that we're used to, but
Mhm.
impacted in so many different ways, still got her buckets. But Chance Gray to step up and hit some big time threes, it's like she couldn't miss for sure in the first half. It was insane, and we know she's a shooter, but sometimes it shows up, sometimes it's quieter on other nights. But this versus a top 10 foe, this is exactly when you want to pull it out and have that type of confidence moving forward, going back into the Big Ten. And Elsa Limula as well. She had to deal with all the length of
Yes.
TCU. TCU is one of the biggest squads in the nation. I think they have like
Yes.
4 players that are 6'4". But for her to hold it down, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 blocks, 2 steals. Like, she was phenomenal in the difference maker down low. So for me, it was the balance for Ohio State. Defense always there, but outside of that, what are you going to combat with that? And I think they did just that.
And I think we have to just give a little nod to Katie Smith, who is back on the bench for
Yeah.
Ohio State, a legend, and I think she's getting these guards right. And if
Mhm.
you know anything about Katie Smith, well, one, if you don't, I have a book for you. It's called Court Queens.
I
She's
know.
in
I
there.
see her. She's so cute back
She's
there.
so cute. I love her. Katie Smith is a bucket. She's also a point guard, but she can get buckets too. So I love that she's back on that coaching staff to help with those guards. Also, real quick, I see this in
Mhm.
here for Chance Gray. She played in honor of MLK Day. Her great grandfather,
Mhm.
Benjamin Hooks, worked with Dr. King and led the NAACP. I love that little tidbit. Thanks,
That
Phil, for putting that in there.
That's so cool. There were so many ties in this. A lot of Jersey girls as well.
Yes, a lot of,
So,
because it was in New Jersey, a lot of Jersey girls. I love how they
yeah.
did that as well. Real quick on the TCU side,
Mhm.
Olivia Miles, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. She almost had another triple double. She did struggle from the three, went 1 for 7.
Mhm.
Um, but Olivia, I mean, again, even though they got the loss and they struggled in that last possession, the last couple possessions, she kind of lost the ball. They dribbled down the clock a little more. I was waiting, anticipating a classic Olivia Miles, maybe at the buzzer or a three to kind of tie it. But she looks so good. And we talk about pro ready guards.
Mhm.
Olivia Miles is very much up there, right?
Absolutely. That's why she came to TCU, to work in this system that, has a lot of pick and roll action with their big guards, which reflects like a WNBA system. She's been doing just that with the posts that she has available to her. Again, it was just the defense of Ohio State. Like, they make you uncomfortable. They coughed up
Mm-hmm.
20
20.
turnovers.
20.
So
I ain't gonna
that
get it
doesn't
done.
help. A
Yeah.
very costly one down the stretch as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you want the ball in the hands of Olivia Miles or even a Marta Suarez, who only had 2 points, and she's hit some big time buckets throughout this entire course of the season. We've been able to see a lot of what she can do on this stage, like with this team. It's been fun to watch, but just not enough backcourt juice for TCU
Mm-hmm.
down the stretch.
This was not a great game for Suarez, but I think if she gets drafted, maybe second round, like under the radar, her build is
Yeah.
perfect for the WNBA. Like I
Yeah.
watch her play and how she can shoot and how she was posting up guards. I think that was her only 2 points when she got a post up inside. I really like her play.
Yeah.
So don't use this game as that, but go back or look ahead when they get back in the Big 12. She can hoop for real. And I love watching her play. She could be a really great pro. All right. Vanderbilt, number 5, and number 7, Michigan. Hold on to your hats. That game stressed me out.
Right.
Vanderbilt won, remaining undefeated. Them and UConn, the only undefeated teams remaining. They won 72-69. And Autumn, I wrote this down in my notes app because I wanted to make sure to say this. Michigan could have won that game by 12, 15 maybe, with all the missed layups that they had right at the basket. So many opportunities just slipped through their hands.
Yeah. Layups. I was screaming at my TV. I have to say biased, but I don't know who I was going for because I was screaming for everyone. 1, for the missed layups, and then 2, like Michigan had a chance to knock off Vanderbilt, but I kind of like the story. Not even kind of, I love the story of Vanderbilt. I love the energy Shea Ralph is bringing. Like, we are here. We're not running from nothing. And we know we're in the SEC. We know we have gauntlet after gauntlet, game after game, that the target's on our back, and we're not running from that. I think that's spilling right over to their players, and it's showing. And you win, or we're going to bring this back again, gritty and not pretty, with Michaela Blake's in foul trouble. She couldn't be as aggressive as she needed to be. She still had 14 points, but like, she's coming off of a 38-point performance.
Oh, yeah. To me, I was like, if you keep Michaela Blake to 14 points, you have to win that game. Like that.
That was your game to win.
Yeah.
Michigan, though, in my opinion, they've had to fight back too much in games. They have all the pieces. I was so high on Michigan, and I'm not counting them out, but they're digging themselves in a hole early and having to fight too hard. And I thought overall, Kendall Dudley off the bench, that was their impact player. Yeah. She kept them in that game. Like, a great interior presence for them. 2 missed opportunities down the stretch to close out game from Olivia Olson and then Silas Swords, both threes. But still, like, I don't think they should have been in that exact moment because of the layups. But you got to give credit to Vanderbilt and what they're doing this season. We're seeing that it's not just Michaela Blake's. Like, they have a full roster that's stacked and so much fun to watch. Like, I'm kind of rooting for them. It's
I know. It was fun. Like, what storyline are you rooting for? For Michigan to pull the upset and for them to get their first loss? Or like, yeah, let's keep this going.
Yeah.
And I love how unexpected it is. Like, we talked about Michaela Blake's last year and how incredible as a freshman she was, and scoring a 50 piece and all of that. But I honestly did not know much about her team. I didn't know where they stood in the ranking. Like, I didn't hear about Vanderbilt. I just heard about her. And now, no, it's the whole team. We have this superstar. Now we're building around her. And when our superstar only has 14 points, we have built it enough where we can still pull off a win over someone like Michigan. So I had a great time. Even though I was stressed, I had a great time watching this game.
Same.
Also, I'm blanking on the Michigan's coach's name right now.
Kim Bartzarico.
Her fits are always so good. The sweater, and then they're sponsored by Jordan, so the J's are always on deck. But I love her fits. Like, that is my style.
Yeah, people need to give KBA some more credit. Her sweater game too.
Sweater game, yes.
We see.
I love it. The glasses, it's all a part of it. It's a look. It's a look.
And that New Yorker in her too. Like, she got a little swag about herself.
I know.
I like it. Yeah, I
really,
agree.
Really like it. Okay. Well, Michigan, I know that film session is going to be hard to
Yeah.
watch. It's going to be really, really hard to watch because so many opportunities were just fumbled, really.
Mhm.
And that, yeah, we're doing the mic and drill. They're doing full court layups. I can already see the future into their practice this week.
Yeah.
Not going to be fun. Not going to be fun.
Mhm.
I'm so glad I am retired and not playing and in any practices like that.
Right.
Okay, is there anyone else who are we sleeping on as we're watching college
Mm.
basketball? Who do we need to pay more attention to? Anyone to shout out from the Big Ten?
Oh, Big Ten. Ooh, let's talk Iowa.
Oh yeah, let's talk Iowa. They slipped in
Absolutely.
top 10.
Top
They're
10.
16-2, 7-0 in the
Yeah.
Big Ten. They do
Yeah.
have a gauntlet ahead of Maryland, Ohio State, USC, and UCLA. But right now, they're sitting pretty.
Yeah.
What do you like about Stolke and the crew?
Stolke and Ava Hayden together, a front court everyone needs to have on their radar. Their connection's so beautiful together. They have a nice high-low action. It's been something that has been under the radar. I think in these couple of previous years because of like no Caitlin Clark. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if like the attention has pulled away a little bit, but they're demanding that attention, showing we're still here. And Hannah Stolke has truly stepped into this star role with this team, and Ava Hayden is having a sensational sophomore year. They're learning each other. They're building chemistry together. Hannah Stolke is like one of the smartest players ever. Her reads are always on time. And I also don't think she gets a lot of credit on defense as well, switching out onto guards. She's so poised and timely. It's fun, and they have the backcourt to help stretch things out as well. So you kind of have to pick your poison. They're an unselfish team. It's beautiful basketball ran by Jan Jensen, who's only in her second year, which is crazy to think about as the head coach for this team. But I like Iowa and what they're doing. I could see them finishing second the way they're rolling right now.
Mm-hmm. Right behind. I mean, yeah, you got UCLA. I want to look up that date of when that
Yeah.
game will be, because that will be so good, especially that battle inside with Stolke and Lauren Betts. That's going to be prime time. That's going to be fun.
I think Michigan, it's going to be Iowa, Michigan for me. Like
Ooh, okay.
battling out that two spot. I think UCLA. It's UCLA in the field for sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
who's after them? Who's playing UCLA in that championship game? It's either Iowa or Michigan. I don't want to be too down on Michigan because they've had some very key moments, even though they were, they had a signature game versus UConn, even though it didn't come out as a win.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's going to be between those two fighting for that number 2 spot.
Okay. I got to tune into some more Iowa games. Autumn Johnson told me to. So that is what I will be doing. That's everyone's homework.
They're fun.
College has it's been everything. I've loved watching college hoops this season. I think the talent, I also wrote this down in my notes. Like, the future of women's basketball is in such great hands. Like, that's what I say when I'm watching Sundays packed of top 15, top 10 matchups. Yeah. Yesterday for the holiday, I was like, there is so much talent out there. So many sophomores. Like, that sophomore class is so huge. So the future of, we'll see them in the W, we'll see them in Unrivaled maybe. They are hooping, and that gets me so excited. So great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's take another break. When we come back, it's Unrivaled time, and Autumn has some questions for me to get you all caught up. So we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to the Women's Hoop Show. We talked college. Now it is time for Unrivaled, and I have watched every game, I think.
Oh, wow.
So far. I've watched every single game. I picked a team this year, Autumn. I'm a breezy girl.
Come on, breezy girl.
I think it's fun to like have a team to root for and have some type of, extra enthusiasm for these games. So
we're rocking the breeze right now, actually.
We are. I've been
you got the eyeshadow. Are we both breezy girls? Is that what it's giving?
Maybe.
Because I'm a huge fan.
Yes, after this catch up, maybe you can pick your team on who you're going to be rooting for.
Okay.
Real quick, and then I know you have some questions for me. Laces are sitting in the number one spot right now. They are 4-1, but then there's just this log jam of a bunch of 3 and 2 teams, and then there's no more O teams anymore. Both of the teams that weren't able to get a win got wins this past weekend. That was Hive and Lunar Owls. So we can go through each team. Or what you got? What questions do you have? I'm an unrivaled pro.
I'm going to switch things up on you.
Okay.
To get caught up, I want you to give me some superlatives. And I feel like if you do that, it will kind of give us a sense of who's showing out, who needs to, catch up, who's throwing you off, or who is making a great trend right now. I don't know. We're going to get into it, but I think that will give us a good feel of the vibe of these teams, the pulse of these players. It's a different but fun way.
Yeah. I love it.
Ready?
What you got? I'm ready.
All right. Unrivaled superlatives. My first one, certified bucket. Who is that for you?
Certified bucket. Okay, that has to be Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray is leading Unrivaled in points. The Rose were undefeated before this weekend. She was leading the team. She has come in with, like, you thought I was about to retire? You thought I was at the end? I am about to show you all up. And the thing is, and what makes her the certified bucket, not only because she's averaging points, but she's doing it like back to back to back, meaning she'll come down, pull up a 3. Then the next possession, she comes down, crosses you over, pulls up a mid-range. Next possession, 3, almost half court. And it's like, what? You need, someone told me on Threads, you need to tase her at this point. Like, just get her out of the gym. I said, you got to call the FBI, call somebody, because the Rose are never out of a game because they have Chelsea Gray. Not only the passes are incredible, but because when it comes to that fourth quarter and they're trying to get to a target score, she just sees red and she's like, I don't care if we're down by 20. We have a chance. And she scores in bunches. So we knew that about Chelsea Gray. But this season in particular, she's going for that MVP. I want to see her in the one-on-ones. We've talked about it on previous episodes, but I still think Chelsea Gray is that certified bucket.
Chelsea Gray is that girl.
She is.
She's like, you can get a bucket. You can get a bucket any way you want it.
Any way you want it. I think she's taking orders. I think she goes to the other team and says, okay, how do you want me to score on you? Do you want it to be dribbling to the left, to the right? Like, and she's writing it down on a notepad, and then she goes out there and does it. It cooks them.
Lakeisha, right?
That's what they call her.
That's her alter ego.
They're saying she's dropping 30, almost 40 on you and then walking off the court like Annalise Keating on them. That's what they're saying. They're calling.
The internet's so unserious. I live for it, though. Okay, I love it, and I agree with it for sure. Who's been the biggest surprise so far?
Ooh, the biggest surprise. That's a good one because there have been a ton of new players in Unrivaled this season and also new to the 3-on-3 format, which I think is everyone needs some time to get used to. Yeah. But I would say my biggest surprise, I'm going to go Leah.
Oh, that's
she's
a good
on the
one.
List. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to go Leah. One, because she had a killer highlight this past weekend when she did a Euro step, full court, Leah Euro step finish. And everyone was like, okay, Lee. They're saying Leah, more like Lee Euro. You know what I mean?
Ooh. Please. No, we're here. I like the play on. I'm screaming, Jordan.
She's been so good. And I think that this is an opportunity to also just talk about Mist in general, because Mist last year, that was Stewie's team, and they were not great. Like, I don't think they were put together super well around Stewie. Stewie was also not 100% last year. So coming into this season, I think Stewie told Nafisa Collier, like, you got the really good team last year with Lunar Owls. I want the really good team this year. So now it's Veronica Burton, Alicia Gray, Arike Gumbawale, Alana Smith, Stewie, and Lee Yaru. And I think that this format fits Lee Yaru because she can shoot it, she can stretch the floor, but she's also the presence and having to guard all of these bigs that are throughout Unrivaled. So I think she's been doing super well, and they're sitting at 5th place right now, 3-2. The Mist are a really good team to watch. And of course, Alicia Gray, you know what all your ATL girls have been showing out this whole season.
Period.
Alicia Gray is looking great. And I will say, on the other side of this, the least surprising thing of this season is that there have been 2 scuffles and Marina Mabry has been in both of them. That is the least surprising thing.
I was going to ask you, one of these superlatives is the best crash out queen in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Marina Mabry, you know, it's exactly what we thought. And she, if anything, she stays on brand. That's what I love about her. She's like, this is who I am. I am a Jersey girl, and this is what I do. And
I love it.
She is that. She is
I
that.
live for it.
Alicia Gray did have a crash out this past, or just yesterday, actually, where the goggles went up. Like, the goggles went up off her head. She was physically so emotional over a missed call. It was on Cameron Brink, set a really hard screen, and she could barely get up, and she crashed all the way out. And I was like, that you don't see that from Alicia Gray, but it was very much warranted. It was warranted.
Okay. I love it. I love the energy. I love the passion. We look for that.
A lot of passion.
Okay. Who is a player you wouldn't want to face right now?
A player I wouldn't want to face right now is Jackie Young. Jackie Young, I think we also got robbed of her last year. She was not healthy in Unrivaled. And we know that she can do 3-on-3. She's won a gold medal. So I was really excited last season. She sat the bench for a lot of it. Came back this year, coming off of a WNBA championship. Come on now. Jackie Young is, I mean, we talk about those scoring in bunches too, just putting on a show each and every night and being the silent assassin, but also like speaking more. And now she has a TikTok where she's learning how to juggle.
She's on Threads.
Like, who are you? So I think I do not want to face her because she's like coming into this butterfly, like a newer version of an already great player that she is. But she's averaging over 20 points a game. She's helping Laces be that number 1 spot. And her and Brittany Sykes are an incredible duo. I don't think I'm not surprised by it, but it's really been fun to watch. I thought it was going to be more of Alyssa Thomas, who's also on the Laces, but it's very much Brittany Sykes and Jackie Young, and she has been killing it. So yeah, they are 4-1 right now. I don't want to go against J.O., the juggler.
The J.O., the juggler. Fear her at all costs. Who is a team that needs to figure it out?
Okay, yeah. Let me scroll on down. Let me scroll down to the bottom. All right. Lunar Owls. They came into this weekend without a win. And it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. They were getting blown out by every single team. Now, it's tough because you don't have Nafisa Collier. Like, this is who this team was built around. Now she is out and potentially even out for some of the WNBA season. Skylar Diggins didn't play until this weekend. So now she's back, and I think that's going to help them figure it out because that's what a point guard does. She gets everybody in order. She gets everybody, on brand, on the same page. But everybody else, we got to figure this out. Rebecca Allen, Rachel Bannum, Aaliyah Edwards is doing incredible. Her and Marina Mabry have been holding this afloat. They have been scoring 90% of the points going up to this. We talked about Marina Mabry and the crash outs, but she was able to score over 30 points last night, get them their first win over Vinyl. And yeah, they got to figure it out. They got to figure it out. They got to figure it out. But I will say,
not having a pizza is tough.
I mean,
yeah, what can
automatically. The Hive would have been one of those teams that I would have said.
I thought you were going to say the Hive.
Yeah, and I think for them more so than Lunar Owls, the Hive, it's just so much newness. Like it is Monique Billings, Sonia Citron, Natisha Heidemann, Ezzy Magnagore, Kelsey Mitchell, Sanaya Rivers. Only one of those players in T played Unrivaled last year. I don't even know the extensive of 3-on-3 for the rest of everybody else. So that's what it looked like to me. It just looked like, okay, we need a couple games to figure out the pace. And I said that on this last episode. Kelsey Mitchell, when she figures it out, she's going to figure it out. She's going to figure out how to use her speed in 3-on-3 and create space. And she has. And that's why they were able to get their first win. They still have a little ways to go for sure, but I'm putting my money on Kelsey Mitchell figuring it out first. You know, like she's going to keep them afloat. But yeah, that's why Lunar Owls is still at the bottom for me.
That would be one player I don't want to play because Kelsey Mitchell, that first step is insane. So when she unlocks that, can't wait to see it. Okay, couple more. Let me see which one's the best one. Most fun to watch. Who are you loving right now?
Okay. Well, this is probably biased because they're my team, but the Breeze, the breezy team of young talent that I don't know. I just get so excited about the future. And I love watching Paige Beckers play basketball. Like,
same.
It is so fun. It's so smooth. The mid-range, everything. I don't
full
even
package.
have anything to say. It's full package. And I will tell you, as a catch-up, they were doing a free throw challenge throughout the first half of this season. Whoever makes the most and has the highest percentage gets an extra $50,000. And Paige Beckers got that last night, an extra $50K in your pocket. Breeze commented on the post and was like, dinner is on Paige tonight. Like, that is some nice chunk of change to get in there. But I mean, I hope the listeners aren't tired of me talking about it, but just Dawn Malanga and what she has been able to do. Cameron Brink, I think she's starting to figure out where she can be useful and not fouling as much, but also the block shots are incredible. So they're fun to watch. And Rakia, of course, you know she's gonna be a bucket and that's my spread the floor. So I think the fashion team wise from top to bottom, it's them.
Top tier.
Everything about love them. Breeze. Yeah, like, I love Breeze.
Everything
Breeze.
They're
sitting at number 3 and 3rd right now. They're also in that 3-2 margin. But yeah, they started 2-0, went 0-2. Now they're starting to get their footing back.
Okay.
Like Breeze.
Watch out for the Breeze. Yeah.
Watch out for the
best off the court story. It could be on social media. It could be anything.
I have two for that one.
Quick with it.
Okay. Best off the court story is Jordan Canada. She is on Laces and she just released her first single, kind of.
Yes,
did you see this? Did you see this on
I did.
Story?
Yes.
I loved it. We know Jordan Canada can sing. We've known this for so long.
So Yes.
And I was so proud of her because you know how
Mhm.
nerve-wracking that is to put yourself out there like that, especially in a field that you are, you are a basketball player, but you can also be this really cool R&B love song singer.
Yeah.
And I love that for her. They played it during the broadcast, like going into commercial break. They talked to her about it on hopefully it can be released on Spotify and Apple Music.
Mhm.
And I just sent her a DM. I'm like, this is fire. I'm so proud of you. Like it was just my
Yeah.
favorite thing ever. And that Unrivaled is the place for them to just be able to spotlight it and play it. And it's,
Absolutely.
I just love
It's
that for
fun.
her. Get some extra
Yeah.
views on there. That was so good.
I love that one. I saw that too.
Yeah.
I heard that she's been working on that particular song since last Unrivaled season. Is that
Yes.
correct?
She
And
recorded it
now
in Miami last year. So
wow.
it's taken so long. And I wonder how long it's been like done, but she was, should I
Just
release it?
sitting
Is
on
it
ice.
ready?
Mhm.
I can totally relate to that feeling of
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous to put it
Like
out
your
there.
book. As an artist, you
Exactly.
just want it to be perfect. Yes.
Exactly. You don't know how many rounds of edits we have went through on this, reading
I can
every
only
single
imagine.
word. It that exact feeling. That was a perfect comparison. I love that. And then my second one is Sanaya Rivers is going to be one of the best defensive players when her
Ooh,
career is done. I just know
love
that.
that.
And we've gotten glimpses of that. But even her block shots in Unrivaled setting the record, what she's been able to do with steals, she's everywhere. And that shows what type of player and pro she is going to be for many years to come. But
That.
she talked about, before every single game, she writes a letter to her late mom. And that is why she is playing, and that is like her motivation. And her just expressing that and saying that in a post-game interview, when Hive won its first game, as she's
Mhm.
celebrating, and it wasn't like, this sad thing. It's like, no, I get to write a letter to my mom every single game.
Yeah,
And it was just so cute. I'm such a fan of Sanaya Rivers. So her
I
off the
love
court,
her.
on the court, I'm watching it. I love her.
Yes. And this is just her first year in Unrivaled, in the
No.
W. The sky's the limit for Sanaya
It really
Rivers. Like, who she is on and off the court, I love her so much. But to just
I
know
adore her.
how much she has in store for her, it's gonna be so much fun to witness. I have one
It's
more
so
for
good.
you, and we're
Yeah,
packing 2
yeah.
in 1.
What you
Who's
got?
winning it all, and who's your dark horse? Early
Oh,
pick
no.
and dark horse. Putting you in the
Oh,
hot seat.
no.
Give
Oh,
me what you
no.
got. Just a
Oh,
superlative, you know?
man. I know. And I'll say right now, because I was like, Rose is winning it. The way Chelsea Gray is
Okay.
playing, like, Rose is for sure winning it. But I don't know. Lace is looking pretty good.
Places? Okay.
Okay. Let me give you an answer. I will say Rose. I will say
Okay.
Rose is going back to back. Laces
Okay.
fans probably not happy about this, but I will say Rose is going back to back because of how Chelsea Gray is playing. Kalia Copper is back from injury. Azare is doing incredible things. Everyone is saying, the pick and roll with Chelsea Gray and Azare, you might see her in Vegas. Like, it's looking real good. She's a
Like,
free
hold up.
agency. They might call her up on the phone. Like, it's looking pretty good right
You already
now.
know those
Uh,
conversations are hot in Miami. You already
for
know.
sure.
Recruiting going crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shakira Austin's playing super well. So I think Rose, when it comes down to it, is going to be the team to beat. The dark horse and a team that we haven't really talked about today is Phantom. Like,
Okay.
Phantom
Nice.
is really good. Aaliyah Boston looks
Yep.
great. She
Yes.
looks so
I was just thinking
good.
that.
The way she can catch her hands, I don't
Mhm.
think people give her enough credit for. They are like magnets to the ball. You can just throw it
Throw it
anywhere
up.
near the
She's
basket.
got it. Mhm.
She's gonna catch it, and she's finishing around the rim. She's got a little midi going on.
Yeah.
Looks great. Kelsey Plum, we already know what type of bucket she is, especially in 3-on-3. She didn't play last year because she wanted to take time in the off season, but it's living up to the hype. We love KP. Then you have Natasha Cloud, who's incredible in this format, and Tip Hayes. She is a 3x3 queen. She's going to get you a bucket at any time. So Phantom is probably one of those teams where I'm like, okay, they're sitting at number in fourth right now, 3-2, but come towards the end of the season, they're going to figure it out. So they could be a dark horse. Yeah.
I love all of those. That was a good catch up. I've been dabbling here and there, but the fact you watch every single game, like that's how I feel.
A lot of TV,
a lot of basketball. It's great though.
A lot of basketball.
Never not basketball on, which is a Hooper's dream. We love it.
I know.
We love it. And fans, we're here for it.
One thought that I did have is because, and this will be before we wrap, but I watch a lot of this and you watch a lot of basketball because it is our job to watch a lot of basketball. Like we are minding the business that pays us.
Exactly
but
that.
This new in season 2 for Unrivaled, they have it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And it is a lot of games, even though it's only 2 games per night and the games are like barely over an hour. Like they go really quick.
Yeah.
But it's still a lot of time that you kind of have to carve out to make sure that you're getting to watch it. Now, if it is team based, like if you only care about laces, you're only watching a couple days. You know, you're only watching every other day. They did it this way to avoid back-to-backs. But as I'm sitting there watching it, I can't help but think like, I hope everyone else is watching this. Like, I hope it's not just highlights on Instagram. We know the social media is there. It is so on point. Yeah. It is setting the precedent. Yeah. But I wonder what they're going to find when they compare season 1 viewership to season 2 viewership. If there's going to be a wide divide with spacing the games out throughout the whole weekend. I'm just curious. I don't know if it's necessarily worse, but I'm very curious what the findings are going to be. And I know you said it's overlapping with a lot of college. They also premiered, it was still football on a Sunday and Monday. So I'm just wondering about that. Just had to throw that out there.
That's a good point, because obviously the safety of the players is the first priority.
Yeah,
with the back-to-back games, 3v3 format, it's tough on your body. It's fast-paced. You know, the fatigue can set in. We know that. But to my point, like with the college games too, the premier games are Thursday and Sunday. So you kind of have to pick your poison, which is so unfair. Like you're having, for me, I love the audio because I want to know the storylines and I want to know what people are saying and like just the action overall. So I like the volume up, but you know, I have the volume up for college hoops, and then like you have like your little screen for Unrivaled or vice versa. You have your Unrivaled screen with the audio and then college hoops on your laptop or something. Like I want everyone to have their shine at the right moment. So I also wonder with that how the numbers compare. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's been fun. I've been having a great time and the games have been competitive, going down to the wire. I love the target score fourth quarter. I think it's so smart to just make sure that you have a thrilling finish every single time. So I've been having a great time. And I know on Threads, I've also been having a great time. That's where the Unrivaled people are. It's a party. So yeah, I'm so glad you got caught up. If you have any other questions, I feel like I'm the Unrivaled expert.
You're my girl. No, that was so good.
Great. I'm so glad. But this was a blast, per usual. Yapping away for over an hour. Thanks, Autumn. You're the best.
You're the best, Jordan. So great to be back with you.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an update. Your support means the world. And if you're feeling generous, leaving a quick rating or review helps more Hoops fans discover the show. And you can now see us on our brand new YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe there. Shoot us an email at women'shoops@odyssey.com to tell us what's on your mind. We want to hear your hottest takes, your burning questions, and all your feelings about all things women's hoops. We just might feature your note on the show. That's Women's Hoops at Odyssey.com. The Women's Hoop Show is an Odyssey original podcast hosted by me, Jordan Robinson. Today, our co-host was Autumn Johnson. Our producer is Phil Switek. Our video team is led by Kurt Courtney and includes Tim Meikle, Evan Cox, Allison Jeffrey, and Lauren Vieira. Our executive producers are Greg Holtzman, Asha Saluja, Danny Freisinger, Maddie Sprunkheiser, and Leah Reese-Dennis. And special thanks to Moira Curran and Josephina Francis.